I know. I've read all about your system and how it works.
It gives us immense pleasure to welcome our chief guest, Professor Rita Bahuguna Joshi. Thank you, ma'am. May I now request our national president, Dr. Nataraj Ray, to felicitate Professor Rita Bahuguna Joshi with a bouquet.
Thank you. No, I'll leave it. Wait, Arif, flowers ले जाओ. Oops, it's so heavy.
Okay.
The presentations were done here only?
I would also request our director, Dr. Joshi, to felicitate Ma'am Rita Bahuguna Joshi.
हाँ, सामने से. Thank you.
I now invite
Take it, he'll take it.
the Chairman Innovation Training Practices Award, Dr. S.B. Mitra, to give his welcome address. Dr. Mitra.
Welcome address.
क्या हुआ?
प्रेजेंटेशन की उसकी आदत पड़ गई है स्विच ऑफ करना. तो कहते लाइट्स ऑन रखे. Where are the lights?
The lights.
अरे उसको बोलो लाइट्स ऑन करें.
वो presentation.
Is there a presentation?
लाइट के लिए वेट करें, चालू कर दे.
चालू कर दीजिए, आपका आवाज़ तो बुलंद है.
अब अच्छा बत्ती गई है.
गुड इवनिंग. because our learned jury member, they have already awarded marks to the participants based on their presentations. Point remains that there will be only one winner and one runners-up. That could be 2, 3. The further, consolation prize or so. But the entire day, the way the participants had been very, very attentive, and they had been trying their best to gain knowledge based on the presentations made by the other organizations. That was awesome. And I'm sure there will be huge takeaway for the participating organizations, and the professionals over here. They must have equipped themselves with lot of knowledge, and which in turn they would be in a position to implement back home, and thus the organizations will be immensely benefited. Madam, thank you very much. We, the members of the committee, owe to you and sincerely express our gratitude for your kind and benign presence over here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Mitra. May I now call upon our National President, Dr. Nataraj Ray, to come and address the gathering. Dr. Ray.
Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed the parliament. So, madam is our fraternity. We are alive with the salary and allowances. So everybody are happy that our madam is there. In next Lok Sabha, madam will raise her hand to increase our salary and allowances. We will all are so now madam is our spokesman to increase our salary and allowances and others in the Lok Sabha where the bills as enacted. So we'll request madam, please look into us, because here maximum PSUs and others organization. So give me more benefit for the government of India, for our fraternity, like a HR fraternity of the country, so that like ESI, PF, gratuity and others, to raise your voice for us in the next Lok Sabha, that yes, we will get the more benefit to the employee for that thing. So thank you, madam. Your voice is our voice, your things is our things. That I will request madam to do in the next Lok Sabha. That is probably in the monsoon session in the July, August, end of July and August. Is it, ma'am? So we seek your support for increase our salary and allowances. Thank you, ma'am. तो मैडम को सामने मिल गया तो कुछ बोल तो दिया बाद में देखता है. Thank you, ma'am. So now I have already told in the morning that ISTD is the one of the flagship program, that is the innovative training program. I am grateful my chairman and Subir Bikash Mitra ji and committee member. I have seen that Dr. G.P. Rao Sahib is there, Bash Sahib is there, because Mukesh Bash is their committee member. We have very senior member, Colonel Lamba Sahib is there, and other people are there in the committee members, and also jury members. Dubeji is there, SP Verma Sahib is there, and overall my director Dr. A.C. Joshi is there. Mr. Sina is there with us. I am also grateful my national office team led by Dr. A.C. Joshi and Assistant Director Mr. Basu, Saurabh Basu, and also my general manager of committee, if Tito think that Mr. Dhameja, DK Dhameja, and all the staff of ISTD national office has worked relentlessly from the morning to get the timekeeping, and they are so rudely to make every minute they are watch that whether you are going for 10 minutes, 2 minutes or others. So thank you for your relentless work for that. I also thankful the Mr. Ajoy Shahuji for starting from the morning till today. He is fresh like a flower. Starting in the morning, ending in the evening. The same flower is working. The same fragments is going on in the Shahusab. So morning I have seen, now it is there. Thank you, Shahusab. And overall in the thing, I am grateful to all the organization, that the PSU and other organization who are participating today. Because in the morning I have told regarding the ISTD, so I cannot want to repeat it that. So I tell you that that is that, and so in future also I'll grateful to all the PSUs and others and the private organization who have participated today, and in future also in all ISTD activities, starting from the membership, diploma, training program, awards, book awards, members awards, best chapter awards, Kamala awards, Vivekananda awards, all are your participants is there. Otherwise, ISTD activities cannot be fulfilled. In the morning I have told ISTD vision and mission also, and what is the diversity we are going for that already have been enumerated. So I do not want to tell much on this thing. My sincere gratitude to all the participants for today's program. Maybe one or two, maybe first, second, third, but your enthusiasm make me whole day that you are the fresh one, and go a good memory for ISTDs, these 31 innovative training practices, and we are futurely we also waiting for your another program participation. Lastly, there is a discount going on membership, 50% discount for the 75 years of Amrut Mahotsav in the India. So I would request everybody to nominate yourself, your organization, to be the member of ISTD for this. This is the 30th June is the last date. So be a part of the member, be a part of the ISTD, and enjoy ISTD activities. Jai Hind, Joy ISTD.
Thank you, Dr. Ray. We have such an illustrious dignitary as our chief guest. So I would request now Ms. Anuba Walia to introduce the chief guest to all of us. Anuba.
Good evening, everyone. It's really an honor. Professor Rita Bhanguna Joshi is a member of Parliament in Lok Sabha from Prayagraj, Allahabad. She is also the chairperson of Joint Committee on Salaries and Allowance for Members of Parliament and the convener of Committee of Parliament on Official Language. A PhD holder in history from University of Allahabad, Professor Rita Joshi has taught in the Department of Medieval and Modern History, University of Allahabad for 32 years before she took voluntary retirement. A well-known woman activist, her political career commenced in 1995 when she was elected as the first woman mayor of Allahabad Municipal Corporation. Working closely with the different wings of United Nations organization, she traveled widely and attended conferences on local governance and women issues. She was elected as a member of the UNCHS Advisory Committee of Local Authorities in 1997. Professor Rita Bhanguna has worked in favor of Indian women. As a president of All India Mahila Congress, she has actively led the movement for the reservation for women in the local bodies in UP. The position she has been held, so it's like a great trajectory she's carrying, and I'm really honored for that. She's been represented Asia as member UNCHS Advisory Committee of Local Authorities in 2020-22. former member, United Nations International Advisory Board of Mayors, former member, Executive All India Council of Mayors, and ex-Vice President, National Council of Women in India. She has authored a biography of her father, an extraordinary statement, Hemvati Nandan Bhauguna. I also take the credit of sharing, apart from 2 books in history, she has authored a biography of her father, and also him, other awards she has been carrying, that is recipient of various awards and accolades for her work on women empowerment. Her efforts to relieve the plight of women in UP got her awarded the prestigious United Nations Award of Excellence as Most Distinguished Woman Mayor in South Asia. Now that was her mother, late Srimati Kamla Bhauguna, was also the Member of Parliament. She was the first woman chairperson of Zilla Parishad Panchayat from Allahabad. That was something commendable. Yes. And I would like to share about her father now. Her father, late Sri H.N. Bhauguna, was a great freedom fighter and an illustrious political Indian leader. He was the State Minister for Communication in the Union Cabinet, and later on he became the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. We extend heartily welcome to Honorable Rita Bhauguna Joshi ji and profusely thank her for accepting our invitation to be the chief guest in the 31st ISTD National Award function for Innovative Training Practice. We welcome you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aniva. Now the moment has come for which we have been waiting since morning. We get to listen to Professor Rita Bhauguna Joshi. Ma'am.
This one is working. Right. Dr. Nataraj Ray, President ISTD. Dr. Subir Biswas Mitra, Chairman, Innovative Awards Committee. Dr. A.C. Joshi, Director, ISTD. Jury members Dr. R.K. Dubey, Dr. S.P. Verma, Dr. Vidya Iyer, Dr. Mamta Mohapatra. Participants for various organizations in manufacturing, services, banking and IT sector, media and ISTD team. Well, it was very embarrassing, to hear about yourself before a distinguished crowd as you are. But it is true when we, or any of us, when we come to hear about us live, then you think what a long journey we have made. All of us have in your own ways. And it is very satisfying and motivating also, as it's for you. We go step to step, and someday we realize, oh God, how many steps we have taken. And that is the time when either you feel happy or you feel a little annoyed with yourself that you've not used your time properly. So I'm very grateful to you for the great respect that you have given to me and the standing ovation that you gave me right now. But I'm extremely honored to be with you in the 31st National Innovative Training Practices Award function. The ISTD has completed 52 years of its service to the nation. And in a field which was 5 decades ago not considered to be a very relevant field. Because all over the world, education is still considered more important than skill. And that is where the change in attitude has to come in. And 21st century is changing. So imagine a group of people who were talented visionaries. They came together to set up this organization. And today it is the largest body for L&D professionals in India. So I must compliment you all for going 5 decades in this field and still existing with harm and not easily. You have I have read 52 chapters all over the country. You have about 400 institutional members. And you have 10,000 individual members. You have 10,001 now because I'm joining you.
Yeah.
So it is a great institution. I had not known much about it. I have known Avinash Joshi for some time. And when he used to come to me, he's from JNU, brilliant chap. And when he used to meet me, he used to just tell me, I'm working for this institution. He was a big shot in THDC. So I never worried about, never tried to even know what this institution was. But when I accepted this program, I read over all their brochures and things, and I was hugely impressed. So I have learned a lot in the last 12 hours about this institution and the good work that is being done, and how all the companies and businesses are trying to cope up with the needs of the 21st century. And how India is really marching on. We have to become a $5 trillion economy. We can only become if you take the leap which is expected from you, and you're doing it in steps and in leaps. So congratulations to all of you. So here we are here celebrating this occasion, and this award function really inspires one person. It also motivates you, inspires you to work harder and do better. And they have provided you a platform, not only for L&D, but also to exchange best practices and to learn from each other and to expand upon your own achievements. So it is very good that you are. And I remember the saying of a great leader who said, training is expensive. Without training, it is more expensive. Is it true or not?
Yes.
Training is expensive, but without training, it's more expensive. And since my, this dais today is mostly from Bengal, let us recall Rabindranath Tagore, what he said. Tagore had said that everything comes to us that belongs to us. Everything comes to us that belongs to us if we create the capacity to receive it. So what we are doing here is to increase the capacity of our organizations through learning and development, through learning, training and development. So this is what you all are doing, and that is why you are here to compete with each other. And competition always gives you the impetus to work better in life. This is what I feel. You know, when I was in politics, when I started delving into politics directly, that time I was pushed away a lot because my father had already expired. He was no more. He had died. And after that, I decided to join political stream, full time. And nobody would let me have a platform. They would push me here and there. They would not let me speak. They would not let me come forwards. And then one day I realized that why am I wasting my time amongst 10 people? That small group of people who I'm trying to combat in the party. I was in the Congress at that time. I said, bhaad mein jaane do in logon ko. I will go to the people. And I decided to draw a bigger line so that the others get forgotten. And that I did, I tell you, with a positive mind, I moved on. They've all been disseminated. I'm still surviving. So this is the spirit. One should not, sulk in situations. They should try to find out ways to come ahead or forward. Now, the question here is that why do we need training? Why do we learning, training and development? What is the need of it? Now, as far as I feel, I have seen, you are also quite conversant with the statistics. We all know that if we have a dedicated and trained workforce, which is motivated, then there is a study which says that the productivity increases by 17% and absenteeism decreases by 41%. Because you know your job, you're not trying to escape. So that abstention really hits your production. That is it. Now, there was also a study by PwC among the CEOs to find out what is the biggest impediment in the way to growth. And they came, 87% of these CEOs said that unavailability of key skills was the biggest impediment. So finally, it is not your intelligence, not your degree, which you hold from some institution or from college. It's finally the skill that you have acquired over the time that really matters. So this is what he said. Now, 90% of the jobs in India, let us come to our own scene. 90% of the jobs in India are skill-based. And what is the availability? 6%. Just 6% availability. So you have a big scope, organizations like that. I'm very grateful to you that you've created the diary of trainers. I saw the directory of trainers. It's a very good directory, and I read about the profiles of many of them, which will help you gain from their experience and from their training modules. And 12 million Indians are pushed into the market, job market every year. They come into the market, and the training facilities available are only for 3 million. So there's a huge gap in training as well. So now, as far as the market is concerned, the L&D market, business market, you know, there is 367 billion globally annually is the market for this business. And in India, it was only 1 billion per year. But the government, it is anticipated that by 2030, this market will increase to about 30 billion. 100 billion will be 100 billion. So let us then see how we can really build upon our learning and training and development programs. Now, why do we need training? That is one thing. Now, we all know that human resource is a strategic partner of business. With the human resource, we can't do anything. But then, training is the extended arm of HR. So if we don't have training, then HR also will not deliver as it is required to deliver. So this is the key why training is required. And as I have seen and I have read, it optimizes human resources, creates skilled and enthusiastic workforce. It increases productivity, improves quality of work, team spirit is built, creates healthy work environment, reduces cost, boosts employees' morale, and betters managerial skills. These are all the advantages that we acquire from training. And this is absolutely necessary that we do that. Now, in a fast-changing competitive world, when the youth aspirations are rising so fast, there is a need to synchronize the modules that we have, what the needs of the company are, with the expectations and the approaches of the young workforce or the young entrepreneurs or young, you could say, workers. So we have to synchronize somewhere, and that can be done only through learning and development or training and development. So this is absolutely important, and we have seen that with the digitization and with the unforeseen situation like the COVID, the patterns are also changing, the approaches are changing. We cannot have a definite approach to training as we used to have earlier. So it is gradually, we've seen, becoming virtual. We have seen in the past it become digitized, an earphone or a phone or a smartphone or a tablet is the medium of getting information from various sources, and people get self-trained. So self-learning, I would say that now the time is changing from trainer-centric to learner-centric. We are moving from trainer-centric to learner-centric. People have so much, matter on their hand through various means that they're using it electronically also. Now the government of India is very keen, is very, very aware of the need of skill training, and you will see that first, earlier, about 2-3 decades back, a Ministry of Human Resource Development was created, HRD Ministry. Then when Mr. Modi came in, he dissolved that ministry, and HRD was finished, and the new ministry was known as the Ministry for Skill and Entrepreneurship. The skill development and entrepreneurship, and this was developed, the MSDE is known shortly. And through this, and with efforts like Digital India, and with like stand-up and startup programs, and this training skill development programs, and a new education policy of the latest in 2020. An effort is being made to link education with training and finally employment. There's a huge gap. Education is was so isolated. We were churning out millions and millions of degree holders who are unemployable. But why? Because they would go back home and tell them, I'm a BA, I'm an MA, I'm a postgraduate. So that my psyche is changing now. It has to change. So the government has come up with this. Now, what is the new education policy? In the new education policy, it has been provided from class 6 onwards, the child will have to adopt some skill. So skill training at the school level. And then when you come to the higher education level, you have to join a vocational course along with your subject course that you want to do. So this is what? This is trying to link up education with skill, and then of course with jobs or with employment. So it is a good linkage that is being created, and I hope that this really works out, and it will this vocational education comes in, then certainly they will be better equipped in life than before. So this is it. Now, the other thing, the skill development courses, you know that 40 sectors the government is providing skill development. And PMKY, Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, with through 720 Kaushal Vikas centers, they have till now, skilled about 92 lakh youngsters or youth in the country. ITIs are also being included in the Ministry for Entrepreneurship and Skill and Entrepreneurship. And likewise, Apprenticeship Act of 1961 has been amended. It has been changed to bring in apprenticeship more and more into the private sector, so that you can use them or train them according to the needs of the companies, according to the needs of the businesses. So private sector is being promoted in this field, or in this area. Likewise, the Pradhan Mantri Yuva Yojana is to educate youth entrepreneurship and link them with the Mudra scheme. So a lot is being done by the government, but it is not enough. Because what the government is doing is obviously trying to reach out, but the kind of skills that are required at different levels, it could be individual skill development, it could be group, it could be institutional. That is where you all come in, and how you deal with it is your own innovative style, because every business, every company has its own requirements, has its own needs. So what I think it required, what is required in skill development is that first you decide your need, and then you have to then develop a system or a module through which you would impart skills to the people. And you should have a proper infrastructure for that. It should be sustainable, that whatever training you're giving is sustainable. And that is how I think you move on and you succeed, and you've been doing it. I saw their brochure last time, the coffee table book that they brought out in 2022 only. The last year's awardees, I'll come to that also. But one thing is very clear, that not only do the workforce is to be trained, the trainers have to also be trained. The mentors have also to be trained. Because knowledge is very fluid, it keeps flowing. So we have to keep upgrading our skills, upgrading our knowledge base. Now, talking about some good innovative practices which I saw last time, maybe all the companies are not there, but I was quite impressed with some of them. And this was the Swadhyay scheme, or the program of the IOCL, Indian Oil Corporation Limited, with this Learn Anywhere. It is not anytime, anywhere. Then L&T came with a new scheme program known as Be Inspired. They had their own module, a special module. The SAIL introduced Learn from Each Other platform, share your experiences. SAIL introduced, and then the Power Grid Corporation came up with web-based monitoring portal. And then mentoring portal. The GAIL came up with virtual training framework. BPSL introduced a very interesting program. They had that picture smart, number smart, body smart, nature smart, and music smart methodology. So the methodology has to be developed on your own, by your own choice, and based on your own needs. L&T's stepwise leadership training program. NTPC's Power to Empower Journey program. PNB was quite impressive in the services sector. When the three banks were amalgamated, then at that time the FMT and the Finacle Mobile Telecourse system that they program that they brought in, did a lot of good to this thing, and eased out their working systems. So this is how things go. And the leadership program of Kalpatru, they had that young leadership development program. They also had the senior managerial development programs as well. So let us now come down to this, that your work is absolutely important. Every company comes up with its own innovative practices, and you will hear something about it when you get awarded here, who are the best practices that have come here. But as a local governor, I was also the MP, I told mayor. So when I used to go into international forums, we used to exchange our good practices. And we learned a lot from each other all over the world. So I think when we come to forums like this, it is absolutely necessary to join such forums so that you can know what others are doing, and to gain from them, and to impart your experiences to them. So this, as I said, we require to fix our aims, assess the needs, then develop a methodology, design a training program, training infrastructure to ensure sustainability. And finally, you have to make an assessment of
the training that you've given, what is the return assessment? So that return assessment, I don't know whether you do it or not, but impact assessment has to be done. So that impact assessment helps you, develop upon your other training programs. So I'm absolutely sure that most of you have done very good work. You've been doing good work. I'm told 21 companies and organizations have participated in today's event. All of you are very good, and I'm sure all you have something to learn from each other. It doesn't matter who gets the award, but the question is, you should be satisfied. When I used to teach in the university, all my colleagues would turn around when the results came, when they were declared. And those are, how many students from our class have got distinctions? How many have got first class? I would never look back. I would say, if I am satisfied in the work I have done, then I don't worry about what the student has done. Why? Because it's his mistake, not mine. So I teach, you should be, satisfaction comes from within. You should be satisfied with what you're doing. And God willing, I was considered as one of the best teachers, most articulate, most of reaching out to the students in the university. So the question here is that we have to first, create your own landmarks. Create your, I'll just share this with you. When the first MF previous class that I was to take, it was on historiography. So I prepared it extensively, worked so hard, and when I reeled out my entire knowledge, spilled it out, there was no impact on the students. They were looking here and there. I don't know what's happening. I'm not so bad after all. I've researched so much, and yet they're not listening to me. Then I asked the students, I understood, maybe there's some language problem, because UP is mostly Hindi speaking. So I said, ये बताओ, अब हमारे यहाँ यूनिवर्सिटी में ना इंग्लिश मीडियम कंपल्सरी था पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट में, और मेरा फर्स्ट पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट क्लास था वो. तो मैंने उनसे पूछा, एक बात बताइए आप किस में ज़्यादा कंफर्टेबल हैं, हिंदी में क्या अंग्रेजी? हिंदी में मैडम, हिंदी में. So that goes, if our module is not acceptable to the trainees, then there's no use of preparing the module. Prepare it according to the people who are in front of you. And when I started teaching in Hindi, वही lecture हमने जब हिंदी में दिया, तो बहुत अच्छा लगा सबको. So the question is, we should be understood. And you should be satisfied with what you're doing, but you should also be understood. So I'm once again I congratulate the winners of today's competition, but I'm very grateful to the organization ISTD for having invited me and become a part of this very, very important event. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, madam. I'm sure each one of us would have their own personal takeaways from the chief guest speech. For me, like when she said, training is expensive, but lack of training is more expensive. Yes. That is my takeaway. And that actually reminds me of something which I had read a few weeks back. During this economic downturn, the CFO approaches the CEO saying that, why do you spend so much money on training? What if the people whom we train, they go away to other organizations? Then the CEO says, what if we don't train them and they stay? All right. So on that note, our next agenda item is for presentation of awards and certificates. I would request all our dignitaries to come in front of the dais. Thank you. Yeah. Right.
Where do we go? Right. In front of the dais?
And I would also request Dr. G.P. Rao, Mr. Rajiv Ranjan Sinha, and Mr. Mukesh Vyas to join the dignitaries in front of the dais. And Mr. Mukesh Jain also. I didn't notice. आइए सर. We will start with the participants. They will take away the participant certificates. Going alphabetically, Engineers India Limited, Ms. Neha Shukla and Tripti Sharma.
Come in the middle, this is the way I do it. Stand like that so that everybody is seen. Where is the certificate, sir?
Certificate? We need to be fast, right? Okay.
Look in the front. Just a moment.
Next we have HL Management Academy, Dr. G. Srikant Sharma and Dr. Bharati.
आइए. आप भी आ जाइए, दोनों आ जाइए. आइए, हम लोग जगह बना लेंगे.
There is no tax on clapping, so please. Next up are Hero Motocorp, Mr. Samir Pandey and Ms. Anubhuti Sharma.
बीच में आ जाओ. दोनों पकड़ लीजिए. इधर तक आई नहीं, फोटो में तुम यहाँ शर्मा जी छूट जा रहे हैं बार बार. पीछे से इसको ऐसे रख लीजिए बेटा.
Indian Oil Corporation, Mr. Shashi Kumar and Ms. Naveli Singh. LIC, Srimati Pramila Sekhar and Shri D. Sanyal. Okay. NHPC next, Mr. Ashok Kumar, Dr. Prashant Atre, Shri Anirudh Singh.
President छूट रहे हैं.
Next, NTPC PMI, Sri Chandramouli Jang Bahadur and Kena Shri.
समारे की कार्ड दे रहे हो.
We have a second team from NTPC, NTPC RLI Solapur, Mr. E. Nandakishore. Mr. E. Nandakishore, NTPC RLI Solapur.
Good one.
Next we have ONGC, Mr. Saurabh and Mr. Rahul Gupta. Power Grid Corporation of India, Mr. Bipin Kumar Mundu and Mr. Har Prasad Pal. Sirma SGS Technology Limited, Chennai, Mr. Sarvanan and Ms. Deepika. TSDC India, Mr. S.K. Sharma, Mr. Ashish Pathak, Mr. Abhishek Tomar. Union Bank of India, Rishikesh Mishra, Dinesh Mishra. Next, Vizag Steel Plant, Ms. N. Bhanu and Dr. B. Jagdev. Western Coalfields Limited, Mr. Nitin Saxena, Mr. R. Shekhar, Mr. C. Sriram Kumar.
You want to join this or no? No. Not supervisor, no? Okay.
Western Coalfields. GAIL, Mr. Sanjay Agarwal, Dr. Ashish Srivastav. McKinsey and Company, Dr. Aditya K. Now for the delegates, Power Grid Corporation of India, Mr. Pradeep Dayal and Ms. Pratibha. Mr. Pradeep Dayal and Ms. Pratibha. And from Mayor, Srini Saha and Karthik Chilwar. Srini Saha and Karthik Chilwar. We can't give away the certificates for online presenters. So let's hear it for Rishabh Software Private Limited, Mr. Karandeep Shah and Mrs. Aparna, and Larsen and Tubro Limited, Dr. Rajiv Sinha and Mr. Rohan Pachpare. Online. Another round of applause for them. Now may I request the chairman? Huh? Okay, all right. Okay.
Hold your breath. The winners are coming now.
All right. So we'll start with manufacturing first. So we will have special mention for 4 companies: THDCIL, Terry Hydro, NHPC. Second runner-up, ONGC jointly with GAIL. Sorry? Special mention. Special mention. And runner-up, L&T. And any guesses for the winners from the manufacturing side? Hero Motorcorp. Okay. So we will, yeah, we'll start with Teri Hydro. नहीं कैसे करोगे आप? Commendation का first. हाँ. Yeah. So THDC.
हाँ हाँ कमेंडेशन का 4 लोगों का जल्दी जल्दी ले
एक ही कमाई.
अच्छा तो अब कायदे से आइए आप थोड़ा बीच में आइए ना आप नीले नीले अच्छे दिखेंगे थोड़ा ब्रेक करिए काला मोनोटनी हो अब आप पकड़िए इसको ये भी पकड़िए
Can we have the NHPC team next? Gail. Keep the claps coming, guys. Thank you. ONGC. Second runner-up in the manufacturing category, L&T.
L&T is online.
Oh, L&T online. Okay, all right. But we can clap for them, right? Right. And winners are Hero Motor Cup.
Unit से skill development. We are from corporate office. Corporate. So.
सब लोग आ जाओ बेटा प्रेजेंट को दबा मत देना अगले साल तुमको कौन देगा नहीं हम तो बचा लिए
Cash prize of 75,000.
Okay, there's a cash prize of 75,000. And what are you going to do with that, Hero?
Actually, ma'am, we'll send the check because there's some signatories is not coming, so that means that we'll send the check.
We will send the check.
That's okay, sir. This is important. Thank you.
Congratulations
Congratulations.
to Mr. Clark and everyone else.
Yeah.
Next, the services. Rishabh Industries, EIL and IOCL, they have got special mention. Claps, guys. Thank you. Runner-up, NTPC PMI. And winners are Union Bank. All right. So we'll start with special mention, Rishabh Industries. Rishabh? Already. Okay. Acha, Rishabh online. Okay. EIL? EIL team, Neha Shukla and Tripti Sharma.
हमने जो स्ट्रेटजी बनाई है उसमें सब
हम लोग इधर एक मुकेश उधर एक मुकेश खड़ा करते हैं ऑटोमेटिकली फोटो आएगा.
Okay. Next special mention, IOCL, represented by Mr. Shashi Kumar and Ms. Naveli Singh. Runner-up NTPC PMI, represented by Chandramouli, Jang Bahadur and Ken Asri. Cash prize of 50,000. And the winners, Union Bank. Union Bank will be richer by 75,000 rupees. Mr. Rishikesh Mishra and Dinesh Mishra. Thank you everyone. May I now request all the dignitaries to come back on stage. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, President.
Madam, thank you so much.
Jury members को welcome. Okay. दो हैं. तू कर.
There is a special memento for the jury members as well, and I will request Dr. R.K. Dubey to please come onto the
Come on the
dais.
dais, yeah.
And Dr. S.P. Verma, please join us, sir. They have done a wonderful job. The jury members, they need a big round of clap.
ऊपर ही आइए.
Dr. R.K. Dubey was
आप
the
इधर
chairman
बीच में.
Canara Bank.
उधर प्रेसिडेंट आ जाएंगे आप इधर. आइए प्रेसिडेंट साहब. You go on that side.
सुबह 9 बजे से लेकर अभी तक इनको कोई चैन नहीं मिला. They were always on the tenterhooks.
You also come. Where is the
Give them a big hand. वर्मा जी किधर है?
memento?
हाँ वर्मा साहब.
पहले किनको देना?
पहले दुबे साहब.
दुबे जी. सब लोग पास आ जाइए. आप लोगों ने क्या धन्यवाद. जूरी का काम बड़ा कठिन होता है.
वर्मा जी का.
वर्मा जी आइए.
आइए आगे आइए.
वर्मा जी उधर जाइए.
अब वो बीच में आ जाइए.
दुबे साहब इधर आइए. दुबे साहब इधर
आप इधर आ जाइए. वन बाय वन ही होगा ना. ठीक है. Done?
बाकी
Right.
दो jury members हैं. One of them has left and another is online.
Right.
So it will be sent to them. So thank you very much.
Okay. As a token of our gratitude to ma'am for having accepted our invitation, may I now request our President, Dr. Ray, to honor ma'am with a memento from ISTD.
मेहनताना दे रहे हैं हमको.
Love and affection.
I just to make the mood a bit lighter. I'm getting different things. Huh? ये भी पहना दीजिए ना तो साथ में जाए.
आप अलग से देना.
ये आप शॉल उड़ा दीजिए.
उड़ा दीजिए.
बढ़ा देता है.
नहीं तो दो बार फोटो खींचेगा वो. एक ही बार में कर दीजिए.
Madam, with your permission.
Of course.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now may I invite our director, Dr. Joshi, to give the vote of thanks.
Directors are vote of thanks.
there's some of the organization there are 3-4 members are came. We have 3-4 books are coffeetable books are left. So the organization which in 2 books they have received, so they can come and collect another books for the respective organization. Because I have seen 3 people came, but 2 coffeetable book is received. So one is deprived. So we have 6 copies. How many copies we have? 6 copies is there. So some of them are requested to come and collect his or her books from us. Thank you.
Thank you, President. So as a ritual, I have to give vote of thanks, and the whole day, entire day was very, very absorbing. In fact, our entire team of the national headquarters was busy for the last 2 months to prepare for this event. Many of the participants have received lot of change in dates. And there was a lot of inconvenience to you. First of all, let me apologize for the delay and change in events. Normally we do not do that. But because of the IFTDO conference last month, a lot of rescheduling was done. I'm indeed grateful to the chief guest, Professor Rita Bahuguna Joshi, for accepting this invitation at a very short notice. In fact, she was to go to her constituency, but I know she cannot say no to me.
You can tell them now why. You can tell them now why.
And I can actually tell you why she said no, because she was suffering from COVID. And she was in quarantine.
Earlier. Don't scare them, Baba. I'm negative for the past 3 days.
Yeah, so she said only when she gets the negative certificate, she will come and join. So thank you very much for following the COVID norm. I'm really grateful to you for sharing wonderful experience, the long journey of a political career. And in her family, it is 3 generations of ministers. First, Hemutindran Bahuguna ji, which somehow we missed out. He was the finance minister of India also during the Chaudhary Charan Singh government. That we did miss out. So I just recalled that what we are missing. And in her generation, Vijay Bahuguna ji.
He was the chief minister of UP.
Chief minister of UP, finance minister, information and broadcasting minister, petroleum and energy minister, 3 ministries in the central. And the chief
Communication
minister,
also.
Communication also, yeah. And Vijay, her elder brother, Vijay Bahuguna, the chief minister of Uttarakhand. And
But judged by profession.
And judged by profession, he was the judge of High Court, Bombay. And now this year, his son has become the cabinet minister in Uttarakhand, Saurabh Bahuguna. So 3 generations of political career. So must salute them.
And he was with the ONGC.
And he was a
I don't know if
golfer
ONGC
of national acclaim, Saurabh Bahuguna.
He was a golfer, mature golfer, champion.
So thank you, thanks a lot, Professor Bahuguna, for sharing your journey with us. Indeed grateful to you. My national president, Dr. Nataraj Ray, he has been there, a passionate person with ISTD. उनके खून में ISTD बहता है. Because all the time, 24 hours, 24/7, he is thinking only about ISTD. And in fact, the last 2 years, he has done a commendable job in raising the level and visibility of ISTD as a national body.
Very good.
So far as the membership is concerned, from 6,000 to 10,000 we have taken. The institutional members from 300 to 400. And the chapters from 41 to 51. So
Very
indeed
good.
a great league for, so big clap for him. And now I must compliment Dr. Subir Vikas Mitra for leading this entire event. This is the second of his term. And what a wonderful person he is, committed. Really, I mean, I've never seen such a kind of commitment, because bringing so many teams, lot of persuasion. And his single largest contribution was that coffee table book.
Oh, really?
Thank you, sir. And his team, the entire Gale team, was associated in curating that covetable book, the entire team. So, you know, we are a society, and society runs on contribution. Contribution can be in any form. It can be monetary wise or physical or advice anyway. In fact, today when we are sitting here, we are looking for so many intellectual capital owners whom we wish will contribute in the times to come in the ISTD's journey. Thank you, sir. The entire team, Professor Dr. Rao, Mukesh Jain, Mukesh Vyas, and Colonel Lama especially, very senior member, inspiration to all of us from Jaipur, has come down. And in fact, the family of Mukesh Jain ji, I welcome. And her daughter is also here. Welcome you. So today I'm happy to receive, it is a big family affair. So it is not only our family, but all near and dear ones. Dabas ji baithe hain. Dabas ji, thank you so much. And all the teams, participating teams, without whom this program was not possible. I'm also happy for those teams like L&T and Rishabh, who joined in the last 2 days and could do so well. Hrishikesh ji from Union Bank, 3 दिन पहले ही मेरी उनसे बात हो रही थी. So he was so positive. He is the principal of the Academy of Union Bank in Bangalore. So, you know, in last 3-4 days, the kind of momentum this committee gained was really marvelous and awesome. And kudos to you all who are sitting here to the last fag end of this day. Many, many thanks to all of you and to all your organizations for their support to the leadership, for reposing faith and confidence in you. And I'm sure those of you who could not get award this time can definitely do much better. I also would like to give a small advice to you, as brotherly advice, because innovation is one thing which the country needs badly. And we need to really dig deeper into it. Because when we were going through the presentations, somehow, somewhere we felt that they were not really focused. Please, I mean, this is a feedback, but I feel being professionals, we must give feedback. And some of the organizations have been participating, and I'm very sure that in the next time when you make the presentations, you have a conference in your organization. You invite the leading minds of the corporation. Invite them, take their suggestions, ask them what are the areas, what are the gray areas, because ultimately it is our performance. The performance of the organization. Training leads to better and improved performance. If we are leading towards excellence, we need to improve our performance. So long way to go for all of us. So with this pinch of salt, I compliment all of you for attending this award function and making it a grand success. Thanks to you all. I'm really grateful to my NHQ team, my National Headquarter team, Himlata Raturi. In fact, she was leading this entire program. Lot of hard work. Lakshmi, please join. All these people, day and night, and probably some of you might have been talking to them, telling your programs, and with all your glowing faces now, I'm really happy that all is well that ends well. Other members, Pragya, Mamta, Shweta,
सबके साथ एक फोटो
Sarita, 2-4 लोग हैं. Less than
आ जाओ, सब खड़े हो जाओ, पीछे
खड़े हो जाओ, आगे आ जाओ. एक
Come in
ग्रुप
the
फोटो
back.
सबके हो जाए. ग्रुप फोटो.
Come close.
All Gurvinder,
भाई, आओ, सब अच्छी
please come
लड़कियां
up.
आ जाओ.
Gurvinder, my IT squad. All the team, NHQ team
लड़कियों के
plus,
लिए तो हमारी भी weakness
come and
है.
join for the group photograph.
Women's
Lokesh,
empowerment. धक्का मारो.
Saurav, Rajkumari, everyone please join.
एक साथ आ जाएंगे सबका.
आगे आगे.
जोशी जी आप वो बैठ जाओ.
Ajay, please come.
बेटा पहले एक साथ आ जाएंगे सब लोग.
आगे सर आगे.
आप दिखेंगे सब?
सब दिखेंगे.
लड़कियों को आगे कर दीजिए. वो बॉटल को लेटा दीजिए. जोशी जी बॉटल लेटा दीजिए.
थोड़ा इधर आ जाओ. फ्रेम अच्छा बनना चाहिए भाई, 4-5 ले लेना.
हो गया?
आपको बैठने का अवार्ड इसको बुला लीजिए. और ओनली अवार्ड
Only
All of them, yes, that will make a good film.
as a champion and runner.
अजय चैंपियंस एंड रनर्स आप आ जाएंगे विद द ट्रॉफीज.
ये वाली ले लेना देव.
आप बैठिए ना, आप कहाँ जा रहे हो?
अच्छा क्या एंड में उसको याद आ गई, नहीं तो लड़कियां दुखी हो जाती हैं.
अरे सिन्हा साहब, आई एम रियली सॉरी. प्लीज आइए. आई जस्ट फॉरगॉट टू नेम our colleague from MMTC, Director HR, R.R. Sinha. और हमारे साथ ये शिदलत में भी थे, शिमला में. He is my old colleague.
अच्छा.
And in Shimla SJVN, in Shimla we were together.
सर हम यहाँ रहने से
Hero Motor.
घरे बुलाना पड़ेगा.
अरे और अवार्डीज प्लीज.
NTPC PMI.
और अवार्डीज प्लीज. ऑल द अवार्डीज प्लीज.
बैठो.
हाँ ट्रॉफी लेके
हाँ वो बहुत जरूरी है.
Bring along your trophies also.
ट्रॉफी लेके आए प्लीज बस. कोई नहीं ट्रॉफी चाहिए. एंड आज वन मोर अनाउंसमेंट. एक अनाउंस कर दो बस. मैं पीछे आ जाऊँ. कहाँ रे, मैं तो वही सुनना चाहता था.
So sweet.
चिड़िया निकलेगी.
Congratulations all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, madam.
Is it over now?
Just a second. I'm really sorry I forgot. One last memento from my dear Ajay Sahu,
Oh yeah.
the sheet anchor and the compare
Yes.
who has been.
आइए
ये
बीच
मेरा
में.
पुराना कोलीग है तो मैं भूल जाता हूँ.
हाँ यही होता है.
जो सबसे पास
We are
होता
taken for
है.
granted, ना?
We take it for granted. So my sincere apologies, Ajay.
Please come.
And
तुम भी आ जाओ, आप भी आ जाओ, आप भी आ जाओ. Make it a proper picture.
yeah. Thank you. हम लोग NTPC बैचमेट्स हैं.
अच्छा.
लेकिन मैंने देखा the way you आपका हाथ लगाए.
It's something different. There is a
The
different
feel, different feel. चला जाए?
हाँ.
All right, all the best. हाँ, जरूर. ऐसे लीजिए.